Good morning, Southwest Florida. If you are heading out and about, we are waking up to another round of rain and storms pushing through in from the Gulf of Mexico onto land. Well, we do have some thunderstorms Southwest Florida, just 40 miles off the coast of Collier County. It's still producing a few lightning strikes, but not nearly as much as what we had just about 15 minutes ago. Not only is it the first day of school tomorrow, we're also going to wake up with a few showers across Southwest Florida, starting off in the coastal areas. When I come back, we'll take a look at that and, of course, what else to expect for Sunday. We have seen a very heavy rainfall at times for this month, and we're still expecting to see pockets of some heavy rain today. Notice, though, a lot of dry air off towards the north of it, a lot of wind shear, so those are still some very big obstacles in the way for any further development. If you are heading eastbound, you have some very ugly weather to drive through, so try to avoid that if you can. And also during storms, you don't want to take the dogs out. I know my dog is afraid of lightning and thunder. He actually tries to find it. He'll start chasing it. So we do expect to see scattered rain and storms as we go throughout your morning, even into the lunch hour. Could see a little bit more hit or miss activity, but we're still holding on to the opportunity for some heavy rain, even some frequent lightning with these storms. And there's a look from a water spout earlier today sent in by a viewer over Cape Romano, so that is near Marco Island. So we do have some brief rotation over water. That's what a water spout is, and that's because we did see some strong storms earlier today. We've had some reports of winds gusting in the upper 40s, near 50 miles per hour already. Most of the rain right now is sitting mainly west of 75, inching its way towards the inland community, so we do expect to see the scattered rain and storms even working its way towards areas like Lehigh Acres, Immokalee, LaBelle as we go closer to 11 o'clock this morning. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain?
These words coming out of her mouth, like I don't know what you're saying.
You guys don't think of like song lyrics?
What are you talking about?
You've never heard of CCR chanting?
I've heard that song before.
I had a VCR growing up as a kid.
Let's go to weather, guys. Let's go to the radar.
Start to your Sunday morning, heading out to church. It's going to be a typical warm Sunday, summer Florida morning.
Could be muggy out there.
Yeah, we always have the humidity, especially this time of the year. But you know what? Temperature is only in the mid-70s, upper 70s. You know, yeah, it could be worse, definitely. But we are waking up dry. Also, we do expect to see some rain and storms back in the forecast for today. Now, temperatures will be reaching the 90s. We're going to see those clouds continuing to increase. Some of those clouds getting dark. Storms rolling through later in the day today. So they are going to start off inland along the sea breeze, then push along 75, then work their way off towards the coastal areas later in the day today. But before then, temperatures will feel more like the triple digits. So at least with the rain and the storms, it'll give us a break from the heat. Now, there's a look on the live next rad radar. Obviously, a lot more energy off towards the north of us, the Big Bend region of Florida, all the way along the Panhandle to Tallahassee, even into portions of the northern Gulf of Mexico this morning. But as we take a closer look to us here in Southwest Florida, we are dry on land. The green you're seeing popping up, that's just some feedback from the radars. Offshore, though, we are watching some rain areas. Earlier, we were watching a lot more in the way of thunderstorm activity with a lot more lightning. Now we're just down to a few pockets of some rain slowly working their way in a northerly direction, beginning to weaken. So we're just going to keep an eye on those, but we're not really expecting to see much in the way of rain developing this morning. Now, we do have a few clouds to start you off, upper level clouds out there. Taking a look from downtown Fort Myers, the wispy ones, cirrus clouds off into the distance. Temperatures out the door, 76 degrees, so pretty comfortable if you're going to go for that morning walk this morning. A little humid, though, of course, but it's not the worst because we've seen a lot more humidity and a lot more moisture over the past few mornings. So we are starting off dry, northeast wind at 6 miles per hour. So here's what we're looking as we get closer to 1 o'clock. A few more clouds building in, but dry along the beaches. So if you do have plans to go out to Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, Captiva, the Dog Beach, looking good for the first early half of the day, but watch what happens later on. Clouds increasing, storms rolling in. So we do expect to see scattered rain and storms back in the forecast for today. Some areas can produce some heavy rainfall at times. So we are going to watch out for some ponding on the roadways since the grounds are already saturated from all the rain we've seen this month so far. So there's a look from 4 o'clock into 8 o'clock near sundown. We're still holding on to a few rain areas across Southwest Florida. All that clearing out a little after 9 o'clock. But here's what we're looking at tomorrow morning. We're going to wake up to a mostly clear sky. So a lot of sunshine expected. Another morning with a dry commute. And then the afternoon calls for some clouds building in and then some later storms after 3 o'clock for the commute home. So kids going home from school, college kids going home from school, you going home from work, it's going to be a wet one. So scattered rain and storms still in the forecast for the late second half of the day. Let's talk tropics. Atlantic Ocean looking pretty quiet for the most part in this area, although we do have a few waves off of Africa there, even in the Caribbean Sea. Nothing expected to develop over the next 2 to 5 days. But the one area that we are watching is off the coast of the Carolinas. National Hurricane Center giving this about a 30% chance of developing over the next 2 to 5 days, but it will be a very quick development there as it sits over the Carolinas. Notice on land, that's one obstacle in the way, and another obstacle in the way is it's going to continue to push off in that easterly direction, not affecting us here in Southwest Florida, but this area right here has a lot cooler water temperatures in the Atlantic, so that's going to be another obstacle in the way for further development. So again, it's going to be a very quick spin up, if anything, not affecting us here for Florida. So here's what we're looking at this evening. Temperatures into the 80s, holding on to clouds and scattered storms around sundown. So over the next few days, still going to see some summer-like conditions for your Monday, waking up quiet. Clouds increasing, slower through the later half of the afternoon. Tuesday, similar setup. Even by Wednesday, temperatures summer-like into the 90s, and then a few scattered storms as we head throughout the morning into the late half of the afternoon, and also into your evening. When we come back, we're going to show another look at that weather, but we're going to toss things over to Andrew Kazee with your look at sports. We'll wake up to another round of some early rain and storms for Southwest Florida on Tuesday. I'll time that out for you at noon. We had an early start with some storms here in Southwest Florida. Find out just how long the morning rain will last. Temperatures are feeling like the triple digits. Find out when we could see some rain to cool you off. Very humbling.
Yes, it is. What's also going to humble us is our weather this afternoon, I'm sure, with much expected afternoon rain, right?
Yep, we're going to see some scattered rain and storms as we pull up the radar. We're still watching some of the activity pushing off towards the east. That's happy.
That is just such an honor. That's amazing. I'm very, very happy for him. And Brooke, you have a final check on our weather for us.
Yes, we do have some scattered rain and storms. A lot of that offshore still finally getting a break in Lee County. Go walk the dogs if you can. It does feel more like the triple digits, Michelle. But for some areas, we have that rain over Port Charlotte entering into Punta Gorda, and then a few more showers as we take a look into Marco Island. So keep the umbrella around for today. But again, waking up to a pretty quiet start compared to what we've had the past few mornings. So that's going to be the problem that we do see with these storms. The very heavy rain at times indicated in that dark red, showing rainfall rates at 2 inches per hour. And so that means Bonita Beach to the Dog Beach, going into Fort Myers Beach, even Sanibel Captiva. You guys are not done with the rain just yet. We had a wet start for the first day of school for some kids here in Southwest Florida, and we're still dealing with some ongoing thunderstorms and even some rain pushing across the area. We have seen a very heavy rainfall at times for this month, and we're still expecting to see pockets of some heavy rain today.